Okay, this is chapter 3, the updated slides, and we will cover enterprise architecture, TOGAF, okay? So first we will understand what is architecture. Before that, let's define what is an enterprise. What is an enterprise? Enterprise is an organization or collection of organizations with a shared or with shared goal or goals. Okay? So maybe the organization have multiple enterprises, partners, suppliers, customers. Okay? For example, corporations. Okay? This is an enterprise. What is architecture? Please, architecture is different than hardware or structure. Architecture is the structure of components there and their interrelationships and the principles that guidelines governing their design and evolution over time. See how big is the architecture, okay? So it includes organizations, business strategy, processes, and technology to achieve its goals. We have an equation, it's called EA. EA yani, it means, okay. It means enterprise architecture. EA is equal to strategy plus business plus technology. So all they are covered under your architecture. So it is an overall high-level design of the enterprise. Okay. It involves the analysis and documentation of an enterprise in its current, as is state, yani, or future, or where they want to be, from an integrated strategy, business, and technology perspective. So please remember this equation, okay? So why we need to have a good business architecture? First of all, alignment. Also for better collaboration with with other partners in your enterprise. And also to make it easier to make decisions and to increase the efficiency and reduce costs. Also, authoritative reference, okay? So you can find out who's the source for these guidelines for standards. In here, as I told you in the first lecture, think big. You are a big organization, different locations. So I want to find out who's in charge, who's the author or the authority for this policy or these guidelines. If you have a good architecture, you can easily find out. Understood? But also to find out, to get into the best practices, improve your practices. And also for a better IT planning and development, because if you are fully aware of your current situation, where you want to be in the future, then you can have a better IT planning and development. Do you all agree on this? Okay. طيب. One framework is to help us with our enterprise is TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework. Okay? It's a leading globally recognized framework, very famous. It's a high-level framework for enterprise software development and helps business align IT and business goals. Okay. We have also Zachman. That's another framework. This is a two-dimensional classification. We have also EA up to the power 3 بسموها EA up to the power 3 or cube. Okay, designed as a cube to organize and plan IT resource and enterprise architecture documentation. Okay, and it covers technology and infrastructure. So the first one is TOGAF. But once you create the architecture, is it fixed forever? Well, it will evolve, it will change. It will change. It has to be updated. Why? Because the organization is improving or changing, is growing. Because of the new technologies, because of changes in corporate strategy and continuous improvements, and so on. TOGAF was developed in 1995, and of course TOGAF is improving also. You can check also the latest TOGAF on the internet. We'll do this as part of the activity. Okay, TOGAF helps businesses align IT goals with overall business goals. Okay, while helping to organize cross-departmental IT efforts. Very good. So this is the benefit of TOGAF. They will help you to define and organize requirements before a project starts, keeping the process moving quickly with no errors or with very minimum number of errors. So the aims of TOGAF are ensure everyone speak, we are all aligned, speak the same language, we understand each other. Defining your priority, save time and money, and achieve a demonstrable rate ROI. ROI rate on investment. Now these are the domains in your TOGAF. Please look at them. You need to know them. We have business architecture, data architecture, application architecture, and technology architecture. Okay? Yeah, this is repeated. Okay, this is the business architecture. You are talking about high-level business strategy, goals, objectives, structure. Okay? It will help to align the business strategy with the IT strategy. Okay? And it should be documented. Here we have, in the business architecture, we have the business capability map, value stream map, and organization map. Then we have the data architecture. Okay, here we're focusing on the data standards and models. Okay, how they are stored, managed, how they are transferred, maintained, security, how they are secured. Okay, and it's divided into 3 architectural processes: conceptual, data architecture, logical, and physical. Logical represents the logic of how entities are related. Physical is the realization of the data mechanism for a specific type of functionality. In data architecture, we can have documentation using data dissemination diagram, data entity business function matrix, application and data matrix. So these are examples how they are documented. For the application architecture, okay, as the name implies, it is for the applications and their integration in the organization, how they should be aligned with IT goals or strategy. And it includes strategy, patterns, and application blueprint. Okay, you should make sure that the applications are flexible enough to accommodate future growth. This is for example. Also, if you have any legacy application, you should be able to integrate it into your new application. All right. We'll do the activity at the end. All right. Then we have the technical architecture. Okay. Here we are discussing the hardware, software, and the network infrastructure. So it's called technology or technical. All right. So it's part of the architecture. It's not everything. All right. So if you talk about software, hardware, technology, it's under technological or technical architecture. So here they are, abbreviation for them to make it easy for you to study them, okay? We have the architecture development method. This is inside the TOGAF now. This is the core of the TOGAF standard. It's a step-by-step approach, okay, with 10 phases. These are the 10 phases here, okay? We have one, center 2, and the other 8 phases, they are in a cycle. They go in a circle, okay? So it's not a waterfall. You know what is waterfall? Waterfall is step by step, like stairs. But here, it's not a waterfall, okay? So ADM, it delivers solutions in architected way, and it identifies interacting components and relationships. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. So you have the ADM phase. Here they give the please look here. If you look at it, it will make it easier for you to understand. Why it's not waterfall? Because you see they are all related to the center and the first phase, okay? Preliminary phase, it creates the architecture capability function, okay? It customizes the TOGAF framework, and it defines architectural principles. Phase 4 is architecture vision. You see this one here? It's an initial phase of an architecture development cycle. It defines the scope of the architecture development initiative. Here also you identify your stakeholders, okay, in the architecture vision phase. We have also phase B, C, D, okay, to support the agreed architecture vision, business architecture, information system architecture, and technology architecture. So they are related. Okay, these are the ones on the right. You see them? C is for data architecture and application architecture, as you can see in the diagram. Phases E and F, okay, these are for planning the implementation and migration of the target architecture. In phase E, we have opportunities and solutions. In phase F, we have migration planning, okay? what we will have, which we will identify the portfolios, the programs, and projects. Phase G, okay, look at the left here. It governs the implementation and, okay, and while phase H, this one here, the last one, supports the architecture change. Okay, so here G, here we have here, it has the actual implementation. So here we are in the implementation phase, okay? H is for change management. You find out that you need to improve, you need to add new things. This is in phase H. So you implement first, then any feedback, any improvements, you do it in the later stage. We have the requirement management, okay? Requirements management operates the process of managing architecture requirements throughout the ADM. Continuous phase for requirement management. Here you see where it is in the middle. That's why all they are connected to it in the center. You see the one, the blue one here? They are all related to it. And each of these phases will generate an output in your platform, okay? And the status of output of each stage is defined. Output from an early phase may be modified in a later phase. Yeah, you can, of course. Okay. Your artifacts, okay, can be classified as catalog, matrices, sorry, diagrams, matrix and diagrams. Here you have list of things such as business capability catalog here on the left. These are all your documentations. You can also use diagrams, tables, you show the relations, and so on. For the deliverables, you should have all documented. You should have the documents that should have architecture definition document, the output documentation for what should you get at the output of your project. And then they should be stored in architecture repository, okay, for future need or for updates. The relation between artifacts and deliverables. Okay. Deliverables, they contain artifacts and are managed through a version numbering policy. Why we should have numbering policy for versions? For you to find out if this is been updated or not. So when you are to update or work on a document, you have to make sure that this is the latest one. Okay. And maybe you are working on a document that is a draft, or maybe it's an approved document, final document. All right. This is the last slide. Now let's do the exercise.